We need a single-payer system, much more like the other countries that have half the cost of health care per person than we do, and yet you have them, Obama and both Trump, tinkering around the edges here, while the costs of health care go up in tremendous amounts of money, like as he pointed out. So you're going to have a much more efficient way of delivering the health care on a non-profit basis. Our neighbor Canada does it very well, actually, but I don't see too many health insurance companies that will support that.
Vermont already Vermont rejected it because it was too expensive, and the Colorado voters just defeated single payer. Anybody who thinks that the government can deliver better coverage at a lower cost is absolutely nuts.
We do it in Medicare for the elderly right here.
I would disagree.
And that's what we're hearing.
Medicare we have here.
There's a very small window of time for them to reach agreement on this. Does it happen?
No. I think that it's going to be, I think that I would be surprised if they get Obamacare done, or repeal and replacement of Obamacare within the next month. I think it's probably going to drag out, which means that tax reform will get pushed back until the third or fourth quarter of this year, at the earliest.
Well, even President Trump was quoted as saying yesterday, who knew that it was so complicated, health care?
Yeah, shocker, right?
What a shocker. Everyone else knew it.
Say, welcome to the party, Donald.
Welcome to the party. Something that was interesting that he mentioned in his speech was something new, and that was VOICE, the Victim of Immigration Crime Engagement, that he's ordered the Department of Homeland Security to create an office to serve American victims, and that office is called VOICE, which is what I just mentioned.
You could hear the collective gasp from the Democrat side of the room when he announced that policy, and I think that it will be very controversial on both sides of there's half of America is saying absolutely it's the right thing to do, and the other half of America is saying, oh my gosh, this is exactly what we don't need. This is not uniting people, this is dividing people.
Peter, does it light another fire?
Absolutely, yes. And I think it's a very bad situation for Trump in that sense. He's got to unite the people and not divide them with these policies and proposals. The real problem with this immigration is that, once again, undocumented folks don't come here for the weather or for the great food that we have, which we do. They could stay in Mexico and other parts, but they come here for the jobs. And that's because of free trade and NAFTA, as Bill Clinton pushed through with Republicans, bipartisan support for free trade, not fair trade, not higher wages, not higher environmental standards, which we should have. And Trump should be talking about that.
Do you want to take a look at the bite? Let's see how the Democrats reacted to that moment.
And we must support the victims of crime. I have ordered the Department of Homeland Security to create an office to serve American victims. The office is called VOICE, Victims of Immigration Crime Engagement. We are providing a voice to those who have been ignored by our media and silenced by special interests. Joining us.
Yeah, there you hear the jeers. Not cheers, jeers, lots of them.
What was interesting, Micah, is that we heard pre-speech.
Here's our Democratic response, Matt. We'll interrupt you and listen to it live.
I'm here in Lexington, Kentucky, some 400 miles from Washington. But we've always come together when we remember that we are one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
There, the official Democratic response to the president's speech tonight. Former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear. Interesting choice by the Democratic Party of speaker and of audience there, making a clear play for President Trump's meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a very Anglo-American room. There was not a minority. I don't think there was one minority in that background that I saw. A clear play to the Rust Belt states that Donald Trump won by many counts, surprising over them. So, over Hillary.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's all that we have the time for. We want to thank our guests. Thank you, Peter, for being here with us. Matt Klink again, also our analyst here on the KTLA News special edition of the first presidential address to a joint session of Congress.
We'll have complete wrap-up and analysis tonight on the news at 10 and 11 of the president's address, as well as the rest of the day's news. Along with Cher Calvin, I'm Micah Ullman for all of us here at KTLA. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.